Hello everyone, and welcome yet again to another Total Warcast. I'm your host Eli, reporting, almost live from Snowtops in Norway, and we are at episode 2 in season 3. We've gotten a lot of good feedback from the first episode. I'm really happy that you liked it. I put in a little bit of extra effort with the screenshots and gameplay of the Dragonborn mod, and it seemed that everybody has enjoyed it a lot. So here we go again with episode 2. Today on the agenda, Gunny's
Yes.
joining us, of course.
Yes,
He's
of
here.
course,
Yeah,
of course.
Yes. We are going to talk about, the main segment of this episode is the World of Tanks clan, where Falcon is going to come in and talk about World of Tanks, the game, and then, of course, the TWC clan, which is important that you check out. If not, we're not going to talk about it, and we're talking about it, so go check it out. But first, we're going to do a quick introduction. Well, we're going to talk about a little bit of not off topic, but other stuff. And Gunny, you want to take it off?
Yes. First off, in this forum frenzy, the Creative Assembly has recently released some new Rome 2 Total War previews. In this, it's mostly what appears to be Carthaginian stuff. And it also gives a lot of information on some of the soldiers and some of what is that we're actually going to be seeing in terms of the people that we get to command around.
And also, if you press the link, it's on the front page right now. We're gonna have one announcement before mine. Hopefully, if everything goes by plan tonight. But at least if you just scroll down, you're gonna see that. Go into that thread if you have any questions about Rome 2, instead of making a thread or sending questions to anyone. There's a lot of good questions being answered by Jack Lusted, and I recommend reading it if you're a fan of Rome 2. But yeah, Gunny, sorry, go ahead.
They have some rather glorious looking Italian chest armor pictures as well on that thread.
Yeah.
As well as answering a few questions and all that. But it's a very nice thread, and definitely a good update for the to continue with Creative Assembly's exclusive content for us at Total War Center.
Yeah, we deserve it.
Of course.
Yeah. Next one. Come on.
Next point. The Scriptorium has recently released its latest publication, and in it is announced that we will be having the 2013 Winter Writing Competition soon, and they've revealed the theme for this writing competition, which will be, of course, Ancient Rome. So go ahead and start thinking up some things that you can write about for Ancient Rome, and hopefully the Winter Writing Competition will have a lot of really excellent submissions this year.
But these writing competitions, are these stories, articles? What is the...
Both. They generally have short story categories, short fiction, long fiction, non-fiction, etc., all revolving around this central theme.
Okay, so I can write a history about a homesick legionnaire, for example.
Yes, you can if you want to.
Cool. Well, I am a horrible English writer, but I can speak, but there's no winter audio competitions, sorry, yet. So good luck to anyone who has literally, what do you call it? Have the writing skills to achieve victory in this writing competition. And you get a little, don't you get a little badge if you win?
Yes, you get a little medal for your profile if you win gold, silver, or bronze.
That's pretty cool. So just check that out, and there's no requirements to join.
Just as long as you write and don't try to cheat or pull anything.
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know.
it just has to be. And there's only one submission per section per what's the word? Fiction, not long fiction, not short fiction, non-fiction. God, I'm getting tongue-tied.
Tongue-tied, yeah, and you speak in your native language, so that's saying something. But on the news of competitions, I have recently acquired the position of the manager of the screenshot department, or picture of the week, unedited screenshot of the week, and video of the month competitions department. Meaning that, yeah, well, I basically do everything now. So it seems that we can have every week on the Warcast, or if it goes 2 weeks, we can have the 2 weeks winner on the Warcast. So this week's winner was Venonets, who won the 312 POW with a Empire shot of a line infantry, so that was pretty nice. I of course will have the picture in the showing right now, and also I am there probably will be a picture of the year contest. I'm working on it, so keep a head out for that. Again, we had really good feedback for the first episode, so I'm happy. We're probably gonna do that. Well, we're definitely gonna do something like that again, with a mod corner. Working, I don't know. Well, I worked on it. Gunny, you didn't do squat. No offense, but you were busy, and Christmas and all that, and I decided that I was mostly gathering up screenshots and all that, so that was kind of my work. But it paid off, and we had probably one of the better Warcasts through time, and it showed. So hopefully in the upcoming mod corners that we will have this year, it will be just as good as that. But do we have anything more, Gunny, that we can talk about?
I think that we should go ahead and let it move on to the interview with Falcon Pilot.
Yes, we will now have Falcon join us, and we will talk about World of Tanks and World of Tanks Clan on TWC. Enjoy. Yes, hello and welcome to this little segment where we are going to talk about World of Tanks. Now we have joining us is the leader, the clan leader, who is Falcon. Welcome, Falcon.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So you are the clan leader. Well, is it clan overseer or are you clan leader? I can't remember the different ranks.
I'm the clan leader for the EU server. So you
Okay.
also have the North American server, and the leader of that is a different person.
Okay, so who's that? North American leader, who's that?
John E. Tsimises.
Oh,
That's as best as I can say it.
Okay, okay, yeah. So you are a clan leader, meaning that you for the EU server. Well, okay, we can talk a little bit first about what World of Tanks is, the game, and well, that's your job because I had Levenger on a few months back, and we talked about World of Tanks in 2012. He wanted to do a little recruitment drive, but now you're here, and there's probably a lot of people who's listening who doesn't know what World of Tanks is. So could you give us an introduction to what World of Tanks is?
Sure. The best way to put it, in my opinion, is it's basically Call of Duty but with tanks. So it's fast gameplay. You have a tank instead of a person with a gun. There's no respawn. After every game you get experience and credits, and you advance in, how should I say, you can buy new upgrades for your tanks, like a new gun or a new engine that will make you go faster or shoot better. And then in the end you can gain into different tiers. There are 10 different tier levels in the game. Tier 1 is where you start at, and then tier 10 is the highest, and of course the highest tiers takes a very long time to unlock. And then you have around 5 different nations from which you can pick tanks from, and different classes. In total I think there are over 100 different tanks that you can unlock and play with.
Okay, cool. So you unlock different tanks, and you have different kind of can you change how your tank works as well? You can have attachments.
Well, you can put special equipment on your tank that makes it reload faster, or dive a bit faster, or aim faster. but you cannot actually change the way it looks. So it's not like if you can, how should I say, you cannot add a
you can't
different
make it
turret on
pink.
top.
You can't make it
Well,
pink.
No,
you
there are
can't.
some fixed colors that you can assign to it, or fixed camouflages that everybody sees. But if you definitely want to have a pink tank, you can download different, how should I say, camouflage packs that only work on you, let's say. So that you see your tank as a pink tank, but other people in the game will see you in normal color.
Okay. Well,
Some of the camouflage packs are quite nice too, Daily.
Okay, yeah. No, it seems like it's a great game, but it's a free-to-play game, right?
Yeah, it's free to play, but you can pay money to get some gold, and with gold you can get a premium account or buy a premium tank, premium shells, stuff like that.
Okay.
But none of those things actually gives you pay to win. It just gives you a certain advantage, mainly in time, so that you have to spend less time on the game to get as far as people that played completely free.
Okay. Well, that sounds reasonable. That's something that Levenger also emphasized on the last Warcast that he was on, that it's not pay to win, which is always a problem with games like this. You have to have a clear balance between, it's just a shortcut. If you pay money, it's a shortcut to get things. But how long does it take? Really long time to get stuff, or is it like reasonable?
Well, it depends. Well, for example, the first 5 tiers, when the game was released, I think I got to tier 5 after 4 hours of playing. So that goes reasonably fast if you have premium account, which gives you 50% extra income and experience. But from tier 5 onwards it starts to take a long time, and for tier 10 you need to spend a couple of hours on one tank just to unlock the next tier 10.
Okay.
You're making me feel bad though, because I've been playing for a long time and I'm only at tier 5.
Well, that was at the release of the game, so then it was a lot easier. Everybody was on low tank, so you were always the highest level, and that makes things easier.
Yeah.
But nowadays it depends on, well, sometimes it takes you longer, it depends how long you play in one stretch, and how lucky you are.
And
also, oh, sorry, Danny, what were you going to say?
Go on. I was going to say that I tend to just suicide charge, but
that doesn't work.
no.
Kamikaze, yeah. Glorious death, at least, in Fire and Damnation. But, as I've understood, World of Tanks is gonna merge with 2 other games, isn't it? Of the same sort. It's World of Airplanes, or whatever it's called, Warplanes. Isn't it something like that?
Yeah, World of Warplanes and World of Warships. But it's really gonna merge. It's just as in, the account that you have for World of Tanks will also be for World of Warships and World of Warplanes. So if you have premium on your account for World of Tanks, then you will also have premium on the other two games.
Oh, cool.
That's neat.
That's really neat. Yeah, Warplanes is actually something that looks really cool. I just recently got an old Microsoft joystick thing, and I need to use it for something. Or maybe use it for that. But the future of the game, is it recent? Is it updated a lot? Do you get new tanks? I understand this is like, for the most part, it's a World War II tanks, isn't it?
Well, I wouldn't say World War II tanks, because I think over 60% of the tanks that are now in the game were either before World War II or after World War II, or prototypes that were never used. Like the real World War II tanks that you find in the game are the Sherman, the Tiger, the Panther, the famous tanks, and then all the prototypes that were developed between. But in terms of updates, it's every 1 or 2 months they release a new update with some new features. They change certain tanks, how they play. They add new tanks, they add new maps. They're very busy on that level. Like the next update, which should come in a couple of weeks, will introduce Chinese tanks. So right now you already have the what is it? The French, the Germans, the British, the Russians, the Americans, and then you have the Chinese as well.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot. Isn't it over 100 tanks?
I think it is. I should have to count myself, but I'm pretty sure it's over 100 tanks right now.
Cool.
I know.
So, sorry, go ahead, Gunny.
Now these aren't only tanks though, too. They're tanks, medium tanks, heavy tanks, tank destroyers, artillery.
Oh, okay, so it's mobile
Yeah.
artillery as well. Yeah, we talked about this as well in the last one, so I've been introduced to it before, and it's nice to actually get a...
Makes you feel like you're the hand of God.
Rain hell and fire
Yes.
on your enemies. Nice.
Yes.
Okay, but that's enough of World of Tanks. Let's move into the World of Tanks clan on TWC. So, as I've understood, it's the biggest clan on TWC. It was one of the first ones, wasn't it? And it was also the one of the foundation blocks for what we now have in the gaming staff.
Yeah, I think we were together with the Armor clan, the first ones who actually got a gaming staff clan going. Well, and as far as I know, the EU server is the biggest of it. The American server is also active, but I don't know exactly how many people they have. And then you also have the Southeast Asian server, but I have no idea if we have anyone playing on that.
Well, we might have.
Yeah, probably, but I don't know who.
Yeah, well, you're European, so...
So I don't care, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't use that wording. I hope not they were gonna feel excluded.
Well, no, not like that, but you know,
Yeah,
my main
you're-
concern
yeah.
is the EU people.
Yeah, I understand. Yes. So basically, this is a clan. So, but as I understood, it's over. Don't you have around 100 members?
Officially, yeah, but
Officially, yeah.
actually, active members, I think we're around between 10 and 20 people that actually play on a daily basis or weekly.
Okay. So it's a you are very the guys, the core group who are active. You play together a lot. You're sitting in TeamSpeak or chat together, or is it divided a little bit?
Well, how should I say? Most people have fixed platoon mates. So people that in game you can form a platoon, then you can play together with up to 3 people, and then you join a random game together, so that you're always in the same team, which is quite nice to play with friends. And as far as I know, a lot of the people, or of the core people, have like, I won't say fixed platoon mates, but persons that they prefer to platoon with, and then you have those fixed groups. But not a lot of them are actually on TeamSpeak, because most of the people don't have microphones. But the ones that do actually go on TeamSpeak server of a friend of mine that's also used by the Armor clan and PlanetSide. So in general, a lot of them do actually play together.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, that's actually makes a game a lot fun when you play actually with people.
Yeah, it's reached a point at which I don't play alone anymore in the game, because there are too many. Well, this might sound a bit offensive, but there are too many random idiots in the game.
Oh, no, not at all. It's that's like just like the what those games called again? Moabs, isn't it? Gunny.
I have no idea.
Moabs, the Defense of the Ancients or whatever, Dota games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those have horrible communities. There's like no. Yeah. Well, that's the way it is. It's on the internet, so you're gonna have a lot of people who don't know anything, sadly.
Like me, who charge into the middle of the fire and die immediately.
Yeah. Oh well, but it seems that it's a really fun thing, a really fun game. Sadly, I have no time at all, and I usually play alone because I don't have time to play anymore. So at all almost. But I'm not gonna wallow in sadness here, since yeah, it's kind of
So-
we have to be happy. But Gunny, carry it on.
Yes. So in addition to fighting with, your platoon mates, making a platoon and all that, you guys do company battles as well. Would you mind explaining that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Basically, you have three type of games in World of Tanks. You have the random battles. That's the normal game that everybody plays. That's the moment you pick a tank, you press battle, you end up in a random game with other people. Then you have the clan war system, and that's then actual battle map where clans attack other people's regions, sort of like a Risk style map. And then you have the company battles, and that's well, a system in which you can form your own team, up to 15 people, depending on the class that you take, because you have several classes in which you have tier limits and point limits, and then you are tiered up against another company. So then you actually face other clans who are trying out new tactics or just training for clan wars or for tournaments. And the level of gameplay on company battles is a lot higher than in the random modes because you actually face teamwork.
Well, that sounds fun.
And now, are these company battles generally outside of the standard tier system, or do they have like tier requirements?
Well, you have four classes. You have Junior, which is up to tier 4, so then you cannot take tier 5, tier 6 and so on. Then you have Medium, which is up to tier 6, and that's the one that we as TWC play a lot, because most people only have tier 6 tanks, so then it's best to pick a game mode in which most people can play. Then you have, I think it's Champion, which is up to tier 8, and then you have a final level which is tier 10 with no point limit, so then you can have 15 tier 10 tanks against 15 other tier 10s. But as the TWC we mostly play the tier 6 medium battles.
Cool. So it's actually so you can have actually big battles.
Yeah, well, it's the same. Normally the company battles are smaller than the random battles. The random battles are 15 against 15, while the company battles most of the time are only 10 versus 10, because you have a point limit. Every tank counts for a certain amount of points and you cannot go over the point limit. So most of the time those battles are smaller in terms of numbers, but they're a lot more intense because most teams actually play with a tactic and with a plan, so you really have to be focused and organized.
Well, that sounds actually like a lot of fun, and that's really when you play the game and you're starting to get good at it. It's actually a lot of fun to actually go into tactics and start to try to become play against better players instead of random battles and all that. Yeah, but we will hop into the next point, which is you're gonna have a tournament. Is that correct?
In a couple of weeks, I'm not sure exactly when. It will depend on some replies that I am expecting from Wargaming itself. I will be hosting a tournament in World of Tanks. It will be 5 versus 5, so it's a more smaller, I should say, smaller teams against each other. It will be 5 versus 5. Everyone on the EU server will be able to join in with their own teams. And I'm thinking it will be up to or limited to 64 teams, and then a bracket, normal bracket style tournament with several rounds, several maps, and so on, with a tier limit of tier 8 and tier 6 artillery and light tanks to make it more fair. And I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure that the prizes will be 8,000 gold for the winning team for every player. Then 5,500 gold for second place and 2,500 for third place.
Is that a lot in terms of in-game money?
That is actually 8,000 gold is approximately 30 euro.
Okay.
5,500 gold is 20 euro. 2,500 is 10 euro.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a prize, which is nice when you want to win something. So yeah, and as you said, the time hasn't been set yet, but but you will of course update it. There will probably be a front page announcement, so keep a lookout for that in a couple of weeks. Well, I'm gonna ask you a little hard question here. Do you have any hopes for the future of the World of Tanks clan? Is there anything that you want to happen? Is there anything specific? You want to have more tournaments or stuff like that?
Boo. Well, one thing we already agreed on as a clan is that we will never do clan wars, because for that you all need tier 10s. But I think what I want for the clan, or what I would hope, that at least the clan manages to get 1 or 2 teams for the tournament in a couple of weeks, and that they might get into more tournaments games, because right now we stick to company battles. But as I see the results of those company battles are quite good, we end up winning most of our games every evening, then I'm quite hopeful that we might actually have a chance in winning some tournaments.
Cool. So those are your hopes, yeah. Gunny, do you have any questions?
Actually, just one flavor question. Out of curiosity, what is your favorite tank?
Oh, that's a difficult question.
Or favorite type, I should say. SPG,
Favorite
heavy.
type would be my well, I tend to do best in medium tanks.
Alright.
But my all-time favorite tank, I think, definitely is the Patton, the medium tank tier 9 of the Americans, or the Object 261, which is the Russian tier 8 artillery. Just because it looks like a modern type SPG, and that just feels epic.
Well, I don't have anything more to ask you actually. Is there anything more you want to add, Falcon? Anything you want to say before we close it off?
Just would like to thank you guys for having me on the show, and I hope to see some more TWC people joining World of Tanks soon.
Yeah, well, I hope to as well.
You certainly got me updating it.
That's good.
I will leave the links, of course, to the forums right in this, on the thread and on YouTube, of course, as usual. I hope you all will check it out. It's as I said, it's one of the biggest clans, and active clans on TWC, so it'll be fun if you play World of Tanks or you're interested in this game to check it out. Falcon has been very open and fun to talk with, and I suppose it's a good clan leader as well. But I don't have anything more to add, and I think we can close off this segment. So Falcon, I really want to thank you for joining us, and me and Gunny will kick it off in the outro. So say goodbye, Falcon.
See ya. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Yes, that was a very nice interview with Falcon. He proved a very sound human being.
Indeed.
So yeah, that concludes what we had on agenda for this week's Total Warcast. I hope you enjoyed it. We will do one next week as well. We have already planned what we will talk about, which is games of 2013 we look forward to. So yes, so it's gonna be great gaming related, not so much TWC related. We'll see. Probably if something comes up, we'll
of course, the forum frenzy and all that. But
yeah, it's like a never-ending. It's like it keeps on giving, as I want to say. Yes, but thank you all for listening. I don't have anything more to add. Gunny, do you?
Neither do I. And looks like World of Tanks is finished downloading.
Cool. So we will meet you on the battlefield. Goodbye,
Indeed.
everyone, and enjoy your day.